Hello friends, welcome back to EduTap Himachal Pradesh Administrative Services channel. In this session, we are going to continue with the topic that we had left halfway in the last session, that is the government budgeting. So let's proceed ahead. So before proceeding with the chapter, we are going to discuss first of all why we are studying this topic. That is why. We always have to be clear with our why. Because there are frequently the questions asked from this particular topic, we are studying this topic in depth. In the last session, I had introduced you to the basics of the budget, what exactly is budget, when is it framed, how is it framed and all. And we had left at the different types of budget. That is the revenue budget and the capital budget. The revenue budget further goes on to comprise of two components, that is revenue receipts and the revenue expenditure. And the similar thing is with the capital budget, that is the capital receipts and the capital expenditure. In this session, we are going to focus only on revenue budget and understand the different components of it in depth. So let's proceed ahead. So before going ahead, let us try to understand the basic meanings, basic terms which are associated with the making of the budget. So the first term is revenue. So what exactly is revenue? I think you must all be familiar with the word revenue, but let me go into quite details. See, every form of money that has been generated in the nature of income or the earnings, be it for the company, government, anything, the income that is being generated is the revenue. That is the basic understanding. And further extending this topic, it also has to be that which do not increase any financial liabilities of the government. For example, let me give you an example. You take a loan, even that is an income or revenue for you, but that is generating a liability that you have to return the amount back in future. So that is not a kind of revenue that we are focusing over here. During the course of business, if you sell a product and earn the income over that product, that is a revenue. So I hope that is very much clear. And the government gets its revenue from the tax incomes, non-tax income along with foreign grants. We'll be looking at these terms in the upcoming slides. So there is one more term you must be familiar with, that is non-revenue. Even here the entire understanding is based upon that one is generating income or the revenue earnings for a firm or government, but here the income is raised via borrowings. That is, if you are taking a loan as an individual, you are taking a loan, that is a non-revenue, because that is creating a financial liability where you will have to return the money in future. So that is a non-revenue. I hope that is very much clear. Revenue is referring to that aspect where you are not creating any financial liabilities for the government, and non-revenue is a part of that revenue aspect where you will be creating a financial liability in future. So let us move on to the most important term, that is receipts. Every receiving or the income, that is the entire income that has been generated by the government, be it in the form of revenue and non-revenue, the entire revenue is combining together to add up to the receipts. So that is the whole thing over here. This includes the income as well as the non-income accruals of the government. I hope you are now very much clear with the basic terms. And this is an image that shows that the income that has been, taxpayers are giving the money to the government. This is the basic aspect. Now let us move on to the further terms. So revenue receipts. How does the government earn the revenue? There are basically two ways through which the government will earn the revenue, and they are tax revenue and the non-tax revenue. So let us look at the different components of these in detail. So what exactly is tax revenue? So see, as an individual, individuals pay income tax and the companies pay the corporate tax. All these aspects, the government collecting taxes fall under the tax revenue aspect. And within tax, there are two types of taxes. One is the direct tax and the other one is the indirect tax. Direct tax is like income tax, the corporate tax. The indirect tax is the GST. And this is an image that shows you this customs is also an indirect tax. Customs is a tax which is taxed on the goods coming from the overseas, that is foreign products. And union excise duty, service tax, corporation tax, income tax. So this is a major source of revenue for the government. That is tax revenue receipts, which comprises of both the direct tax as well as the indirect tax. And the indirect tax comprises of GST, customs duty, excise duty, other aspects. I hope that is very much clear. The entire indirect tax system has been replaced with a single tax which is known as goods and services tax. So let us now move on to the next aspect, which is non-tax revenue receipts. So what exactly is non-tax revenue receipts? See, the profit and dividend which the government gets from its public sector undertakings. For example, there are many public sector undertakings such as LIC, NTPC, BPCL, in which the government has a share. So any profit that has been earned by those companies, the companies will give you a certain profit share to the owner, that is the government. So that is a profit and dividend that is shown over here. Let us take a look at the image over here. See, LIC earning its profit and giving to the government, because government is a major owner of it. Now let us take a image, look at this image. See, there are different PSUs like BPCL, Indian Oil, Coal India, NTPC, Power Grid. You can go through all of them, and this is the amount paid to the government. Such as the BPCL has paid the highest 16,534 crore, and the government stake within this particular company, that is BPCL, is 52.98. So similarly, all the income that has been, all the profit that has been earned from this PSU comprises of non-tax revenue receipts. That is one aspect. Let us move on to the next aspect, which is the interests received by the government out of all loans forwarded by it. For example, you are giving a loan to someone, then the interest that you earn on that loan will be considered as a non-tax revenue receipts. So when you take a look at the country's aspect, that is the government giving loans to either state governments or the foreign governments, any interest that has been earned by the central government on those loans fall under the non-tax revenue receipts. That is the internal lending as well as the external lending, and the income will be in both domestic and foreign currencies. Let us move on to the next aspect. So the other components of non-tax revenue receipts is fiscal services. So examples being here currency printing, stamp printing. Let me give you an example. The government mints the coins. For example, 2 rupees coin, 10 rupees coins. It mints. For minting these coins, there is a certain price. Just to give you an example, suppose 2 rupees is the price of the minting those coins, but the actual value is of that 10 rupee coin is 10 rupee. The difference of 8 rupees is earned by the government. So these all are part of fiscal services. They also fall under non-tax revenue receipts. And apart from that, coinage and medals, mining, stamp printing, these are the different fiscal services. And now let us look at the general services, such as the banking, insurance company. Suppose any company wants to incorporate a bank, then all the registration fee, all that one has to give to the government. So that is also part of the income of the government, which is a part of non-tax revenue receipts. I hope that is very much clear. Now let us move on to the next aspect, which is the fees, penalties and fines received by the government. Just take a look at this image. See the challan that the police fine for the general public, that will also go to the corpus of the government, coffers of the government. So that is again an earning by the government, which will fall under the non-tax revenue receipts. And the final component is grants which the government gives. I would like to take your notice. One must be familiar with the difference between grant and loan. Suppose your parents giving you money, that is a grant. That is, there is no obligation for you to return back the money. So that is a grant. If your friend pays you money for when you are in need of money, if you are taking a loan from, if you are taking a money from your friend, then you have to return it back. So the obligation to returning back is a part of loan. In case of grant, there is no obligation to return it back. So I hope that is very much clear. During the times of crisis, just to quote you the example, during the Kerala tsunami in 2019, in 2018, roughly 2018, the Kerala had faced a huge floods. So there were few governments such as Saudi Arabia, West Asian governments willing to pay the grants so that the government can spend money. Government can spend money on the infrastructure that has been demolished during the floods of the Kerala. So the governments of West Asian governments such as Saudi Arabia and other governments which were willing to pay the grants, that is, there is no obligation on the Indian government to return it back. So all that sorts of money is known as grants. The grant which the government receives, that is always external in the case of the central government and internal in the case of state government. So all these grants also fall under the non-tax revenue receipts. I hope that is very much clear. We have seen the till now revenue receipts which are comprising of tax receipts and non-tax receipts. Within the tax receipts we had discussed direct tax and the indirect tax, and these were the different components of non-tax revenue receipts. Now let us look at the revenue expenditure. What does the government spend on? So the first aspect that the government spends is interest payments. Suppose now the government also borrows from different sources, be it the public through bonds or the foreign government. The interest has to be paid by the government, and that is a part of the revenue expenditure. So that might be on internal and external loans. And the salary, pension and provident fund paid by the government to the government employee, these all are part of revenue expenditure. You can take a look at this in this image that will be coming up here. And all the subsidies forwarded to all the sectors by the government, the defense expenditure by the government. So in this image you can take a look at all this. These are all a part of revenue expenditure. The interest paid, the subsidies, the defense expenditure, salaries and pensions, these all are part of revenue expenditure. The postal deficits, the law and order maintenance, such as maintaining the law and order within the state, within the country, these all fall under the revenue expenditure. And the grants, this is an important aspect you have to remember. There are certain grants given by the government to the Indian states and the foreign countries. Just like the Indian government used to receive, I gave you an example during the Kerala floods, during which the Saudi Arabia government was willing to pay the grant, but the India rejected. That is altogether a different scenario. Similarly, Indian government also gives grants. For example, during the Rohingyas refugee cases, Indian government had provided grants to the Bangladesh to look after these people. So that is a grants which are given by the government to the Indian states and the foreign countries. So they all fall under revenue expenditure. I hope that is clear. And this is police and paramilitary maintenance, such as the airports are looked after by the paramilitary forces. So all that expenditure is taken care by the government, which are a part of paramilitary expenditure. Now, having looked at this, the last component is the expenditure on social services. Expenditure on social services such as education, health and all other aspects. And apart from that, when the government goes out to collect a tax, obviously there is some expenditure incurred during the entire process of collecting taxes. So they also fall part under the revenue expenditure, the social services and the general services. I hope that is very much clear with regard to the revenue expenditure. Now we have discussed the revenue receipts and the revenue expenditure. Let us move forward and talk about a major important term which is known as revenue deficit, that is being regularly talked during the release of the budget. So total revenue expenditure minus total revenue receipts, this is revenue deficit. Suppose your expenditure is more than the income you are receiving, then that is known as revenue deficit. And this terminology was used for the first time since fiscal year 1997 to 98. Let us look at the impact or the significance if the government is incurring revenue deficit. See, the revenue expenditures are of immediate nature. I think after having gone through the revenue expenditure, you have realized that you cannot do away with the revenue expenditure, such as the salary, pension. There is definitely the government will incur those charges or the expenditure. If the government doesn't even earn to fix all the expenditure, then that is known as revenue deficit. If the government of the day is facing revenue deficit, then that is a very deadly sign for the government. So there have to be enough revenue generated in order to meet all the revenue expenditure of the government. So revenue expenditures are of immediate nature, and since they are consumptive and non-productive nature, that is, they are considered as a kind of expenditure which will add up to the fiscal deficit. So if the government is earning less than what it spends, then that is a very dangerous sign for the government. So hence the economists advise that government has to spend more on capital assets such as building infrastructure, roads, through which the government can generate the revenue. So we will be talking about the capital part of the budget in the upcoming session. And the government, if there is a shortfall of revenue expenditure, that is revenue expenditure is more than the revenue income, then the government will resort to borrowings and fulfill that gap through borrowings. So this is again a dangerous side. If you are borrowing to invest in the capital assets such as building roads, infrastructure, schools, education, hospital, that is good. But if you are purely borrowing to meet your daily needs, then that is not a good sign. The government of the day has to do away with the revenue deficit. So this was with regard to the revenue budget. We have discussed in detail the revenue budget which comprises of the revenue receipts as well as the revenue expenditure, and within revenue receipts we had talked about tax receipts and the non-tax receipts. So in total we have covered the revenue budget, and I hope that is very much clear. If you have clearly understood this entire topic, then you should be able to answer this particular question. So the question is asking which one of the following is not a component of the revenue receipts of the union government, and the options are corporate tax receipts, dividends and profits, disinvestment receipts and interest receipts. So I strongly recommend you, if you have understood this particular topic, type in the answer in the comment section below so that I will understand whether you have understood the topic purely or no. So friends, that's all we have in this particular session. For more such interesting videos, subscribe to our channel. Thank you.